Them tell you, say you can never be the one. But God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose. In 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song. In 2 days.
Hello, you are welcome to Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation. I want to thank God for the privilege of coming to studio to share thoughts with you on family life. You are welcome. I want to especially thank God for everyone that listens to this program. Above all, I want to thank God for my partner. Hello, baby. How are you?
Fine.
How did you do today?
I'm okay.
You look really fine.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, we'll be looking at building a solid foundation. Building a solid foundation. It is very important for a man that wants to live a bright life, have a bright future. The quality of the material you use to build is very important for you to build a solid foundation. And we have taken a lot of discussion on the things you need to discuss, even as you build. Foundation of a house is the determinant factor how far that house can go. For example, the foundation of a bungalow is quite different from the foundation of a skyscraper. I want to read the Bible verse in the book of Luke 14. I want to read verse number 28. And I'll maybe add another one to it. I want to start looking at Luke chapter number 28. He said, "For which of you intend to build a town, sitteth not down first, and count the cost, whether he is able to finish it? Lest it happen that after he has laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, and all that behold it begin to mock him." The reason why so many marriages are mocked today, the reason why marriage, a lot of people even call, some people will say marriage is, there's a name they use for it. Say marriage is something that have to do with, it's not real. Or it's that is just one of those things that it's not. The reason why people are mocking marriage, or marriage is being mocked. You know what the Bible says? Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that will he reap. Now, the quality in which you used to build your marriage will determine whether your marriage will end up in mockery or it will end up in celebration. And I want to tell you something. Your marriage doesn't need to end up in mockery. Now, if you don't want to be mocked, if you don't want to be among those that murmur and wobble and become mockers, is this. Sit down. Just the way you sit down to plan your wedding, sit down to talk about your values. What do you expect from this person? What are your values? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What make life meaningful to you? What are the things you know that if you bring that to the table, it will increase both of you and gives you a better success? And that's what the Bible said to us, that we should sit down. A lot of people are not sitting down. They prepare for wedding, they don't prepare for marriage. You prepare for wedding, you plan your reception, you do this, you do that. But when it comes to the marriage himself, a lot of people are not ready. And one of the things you need to do in building a solid foundation for a better tomorrow is sitting down. Sit down and talk. And if you close mouth, it's a closed destiny. Talk. I remember when I was getting married to my beautiful wife, about 26 years ago, I remember we sat down to talk about how many children we are going to have. I remember I told my wife that I want to adopt 10 children, 26 years ago. I told her that I have in mind to adopt 10 children. And both of us agreed. So if I'm bringing anybody or I'm taking anybody today, it's something that we have discussed 26 years ago. And I said that I will adopt those children after my own biological child has graduated from the university. And I'm happy to tell you today, we have started, but even that my biological child have not even finished yet in the 300 level, and by next year will be graduating. We are on a course. And one thing I found out about life before I asked my partner to share thought on what we are talking about. Life without planning, it was better you never came. You are just like the wind. If you plan, you can now know where I am now, where am I going, what do I need to do. you will enjoy your life. If you plan, you will enjoy. Just like when we were coming this morning. We didn't have to run unnecessary speed because we planned it. We left at a particular time and we were just driving. Now, just driving and not speeding on the way and trying to, because you start early, it has saved you from accident. Some of the accident people have on the way is because of speeding, trying to catch up with what they handle with a slack hand. A lot of people are trying to catch up in life and therefore not end up well. You can make it. You will end up well. Your marriage will succeed. You will be able to have a foundation and build a better life for yourself. Hello, baby.
Thank you. You know, most time the reason why many people are not actually building well is because they left the author of builder. Once you don't recognize the author of builder, who is God, then it becomes so difficult for you to build very well. And that's why you see we always want to look at the God factor in the place of our marriage. It is only God that can be able to help us to build properly, to do it the way He's expected us to do. You see, when you are building a house, when the block is not properly laid, definitely those are the faults you begin to see. The house begins to have a different shape from the original plan that was planned out. So, but when you build properly, you see there's what is called alignment.
Okay.
You know, the builder will say the thing, that means is properly in shape. So when you build with the consciousness that this marriage is going to work based on me, the part that God expects me to play, I tell you, you will build well. You will build properly without the marriage having to have a turbulence. Though there is no marriage that there will be no issue, no challenge, but it will be something that people will just walk over it.
You can handle because you are prepared for it.
Because you are just walk over it. So we need the God factor for God to actually give us the grace, the wisdom, the enablement to put things right the way He expected. The day you start thinking that you can do it yourself, then you begin to see that there will be a lot of mockery. That's why there's mockery, because you think you can do it by your power. You think, oh, I have the money, I have all that it takes. And because of that, when you begin to build without not thinking that without God, then you begin to have a whole lot of mistake. But what me and you stand for this hour is that your marriage will not be mocked.
Amen.
Your marriage will not be mocked, neither will your marriage crash. But is that when you do it according to the specification of God's instruction and principle, then you see your marriage succeeding and working. So building a solid foundation, in building solid foundation, what the aspect we want to look at is value. We've actually talked about so many things. The last one we're talking about, there need to be faithfulness in your marriage, number of children, all those things are things you know. So another aspect we want to is value. What value are you bringing to your marriage? What are those things that are most important to you than when you come to the marriage? Because many people don't actually know their values, and that is why they intend to put other things first than their marriage or than their spouse. But when you know what is your value, you know what you are bringing, what is most important to you, you discover that you always put your marriage first, put your partner first, and then both of you will be able to work together, marrying your values together. Because you have your value, your husband have his own value, but when you now get married, the married place is not the place where you now begin to meet your values together and make it work for the betterment of the family. Then we'll put down some things here. Everyone has their own set of values. While most values don't differ, one thing to discuss before marriage is which value are most important to each of you. Then you can decide what value you will share as a family. So it's very important that the value that you are bringing into the family, what is that value that you want? What is that that is most important? Because when we talk about the value, is the degree of importance that you attach to something. So first of all, your partner must be the most important thing in your life when you are coming into the marriage. You make up your mind, or even after when you marry, your partner should be the first value thing that you have. One of the things that I want to look at, value that you can bring into your marriage, is honesty. Honesty. When you bring a value of honesty into your family, that you tell yourself, I'm coming into this marriage, I'm going to be transparent.
Wow.
I'm going to make sure that between me and my husband, there should be no hang-up. There should be no anything that will come between us. No secret because I'm trying to, trying to just do it. No. Now it's no longer I, it's now we. And then we must see how we can protect the institution, marriage, that is bringing us together. And the only way for us to be able to work is for us to always be honest to ourselves. That we are coming to this marriage. If this marriage must succeed, this is actually what I expect for you. I want to be honest, and at the same time, I want to see how both of us can work in this honesty. Because you see, many marriages today are scattered just because of dishonesty. Many people are not honest to themselves at all. They keep a whole lot of things for their partner. Your partner does not know you. Your wife don't know you. Your husband don't know you. You just think that you can just enter the marriage and start doing anything that you like. No, the marriage first. Not you as a person, the marriage. Both of you that. So you must be able to see how you can open up to your partner irrespective of what is on ground. So
what you are looking at is number one thing, to build a solid foundation for a prosperous and a successful marriage is honesty.
Yes.
You come with that, you come into the marriage knowing, hey, and both of you should discuss it. And if you are married, be honest. Because if you are not honest, when your partner find out that you are not honest to him or her, there will be no marriage. And that is why many marriages end up in mockery.
Yes, so you're actually creating room for people to now mock you. Because, you have so much celebrated this, your fiancé when people were, oh, my wife is it. You have sold her to your parents. You have, told them that she's the best for you. This man is the best for me. There's no other person I can get married. And then when both of you marry, and instead of building on that platform of honesty, being open to each other, then you discover that you now begin to do things that is not, and then you are creating room for. And then people begin to say, but I thought you said this girl, if you don't marry her, you just. So how come you don't know these things about her? Then I thought you said this husband. So how come the husband you are finding out now he didn't go to school? Like there's a girl I was talking to, and so I was asking her, why have you not gotten married? We got talking and all that. I said, what is the problem? So you are so beautiful, what happened? And he said, I think they did introduction, or on a day to introduction, he got to find out that the job that the person say he is doing is actually not. He's not working in that place.
So he lied to
He lied to the girl.
So
that
foundation cannot stand.
Cannot stand. And then there are people that have also married. But in marriage, that is when they now got to discover that the man was not honest to them.
There will be no peace for that.
And then there will be no peace. And from there, you start creating that mockery that we are talking about. Giving opportunity to the enemy to now begin to mock you. So to avoid being mocked in your marriage, to avoid being laughed at in your marriage, honesty is one of the values that husband and wife should work towards to make sure that they build a solid foundation for their marriage. It's a very strong, solid foundation for you to build on, for your marriage to be successful in later part of your life.
Okay, so you're talking about honesty. And listen, if you are not honest, you cannot harness the future. So it is very important. If you want, both of you must sit down and talk the value of honesty. These are the things that we cannot go with in this marriage. That you have another one.
And another is commitment.
Yeah, be committed.
Be committed. If you want to see the value, one of the
value, the success in that
of
marriage,
that marriage,
commitment is needed.
You must be committed to this marriage. 100% be committed. So both of you must be able to sit down and see. That's
why when we are joining couple, we say forsaking all others. So if you really want to succeed, it's a value. Forsaking all others. You went to primary school, you went to secondary school, you
Went to
graduated,
university.
went to university. You have seen all kinds of shape of women and men. But you choose this. If you have chosen this, forsake, listen, you go to market with a list. You finish buying in the market. You take what you have bought. You don't carry market home. You only take that you have bought. So once you want to marry, you sit down, count the cost, take what you can collect. Once you marry, stay there. Don't forsake all others. That's what I'm talking about. Number 2 value is commitment. Be committed to the person you marry. Not the person you are supposed to marry. The person now you marry. Be committed to it. Yes, number 3 value.
So it's very important. And another value we have to be loyal to one another.
Loyalty.
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 Loyalty is very important. It's one of the values that you bring.
If you don't loyal, you will yoya. You have to loyal to not to yoya. If you are not loyal, then you will yoya. Something must happen to you. So it's very important. Be loyal. Not. You know, a lot of people, the way they greet other men. I'm talking about women right now. If you see a woman, even when it comes to the reason why a lot of men don't go to church is the way their wife worship pastor.
Some of them.
Some of them. A lot of men, they are jealous of their pastor.
Yeah.
You see a woman, once you see a pastor, he starts shaking. He want to give pastor what I will need that. He want to do this, I will do this. But her husband is like garbage before her. Be loyal to your husband so that you will not loyal in your marriage. Yes, if you don't loyal, you loyal.
There should be an interpretation for loyal. What do you actually mean? So you don't suffer.
Yes.
You know, the truth is that loyalty in marriage is very, very important. It does not mean that you are a slave. It does not mean that you don't want anything.
No, but let me tell you, loyalty is value. Okay, for example, when we talk about loyal, it's another one that when you talk about loyalty, it simply means you are dependable. That loyalty is not slavery. It simply means you are dependable. It simply means I can trust you. When you tell me A, from here to Jamaica, it's A. So that's loyalty. Loyalty, it had to do with submission to the will and to the prospect of that marriage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you know, when you talk about loyalty, that means you are submitting to your partner, submitting to one another.
Yes.
Respecting one another. Be able to, you know, both of you agree on something and then you carry it out without the other person be afraid. But you see, some people believe that, why will I be loyal to my husband?
Then you can't have a successful marriage.
Especially for the male side. Why will I be loyal to my wife? So people now say that she's controlling me. Am I not the head of the... No. When you are loyal to one another, you get the best of your partner. Loyalty in marriage is very, very important.
Okay, let me show you. Let me tell you something. Why that erroneous belief must be out. Yesterday, I told you when you get to park the cars, you know, park the car so that when I'm coming late, I'll be able to have a place to park. You did that. That's loyalty, dependable. See, I don't want us to think something outside of what loyalty means. Loyalty means that my partner tells me I'm going to the airport, and when I get to the airport, my partner is there. That's loyalty. My partner told me that he has forsaken all others. I don't have my phone number that I contact anytime because I want to talk to somebody. That's loyalty. I know that my husband is not in the arm of another woman. That's loyalty. Because both of us, we have committed our trust to each other. So why will you not be loyal? Loyalty is not suffering. That is why I said, if you are not loyal, you will yoya. And when you yoya, it becomes a serious business. Because a lot of people today, your marriage will end up in mockery. People will mock that marriage. So if you don't want to yoya, be loyal. Because it is very important. Because a lot of people today, you see that in their marriage, there are a lot of things that is happening in marriage today. That a lot of people are even afraid to go into marriage. Be loyal to your husband. It's not just
loyal to your wife.
Be loyal. Loyal to your wife simply means you don't go and lie with another woman. That's loyalty. You are not, loyalty simply means you are not cheating on your husband. You are not cheating on your wife. That's loyalty. Cheating is simply means you are robbery. You are robbing your partner. You are defrauding your partner. That's what the Bible says. So you are defrauding your partner. Don't be a fraudster. Fraudster is not only when you go to commit steal money. It also means your emotion. You take you are hanging up with somebody else. You are playing a hanky packing with somebody else. Loyalty is submission. Listen to me. If you want to have a successful, building a solid foundation, is loyal. Listen, if the rod is not loyal, your building will collapse. So we can trust the rod, we can trust the smith, we can trust the sand. Why can't we trust the human being that's supposed to manage things together? Now, if there is no loyalty in marriage, for sure that marriage will end up in mockery. Look at what he said. This man began to build and he was not able to finish it. To finish strong and to finish well, it means that the material in which you are using to build are proven material, are loyal material, are faithful material, are material that can be trusted upon. For the next 30, 40, 50 years, that rod or those things are still there and they are holding on. You want to have a successful marriage, you need to be loyal to your partner. Yes, what's the next?
You have to be devoted to the marriage. Be faithful to the marriage. Both of you need to be faithful to them.
Devoted without diversion.
Yes, you have to be
devoted without diversion.
Yes.
Don't what you see mean to be devoted? It means you are not diverting the attention to somebody else.
Yes,
you are devoted to that person. Now, when we talk about devotion, today we are having a lot of people having issue in their marriage because they are not devoted. Why will you take your feeling? Why will you take your emotion? Why will you take those things and you are using it for somebody else? That you are not devoted. So for your marriage is devotion. Yet another value.
You need to be devoted to your marriage, and even devotion to parent too is also one of the values, because you need to look at it. You know, devotion of a parent. So how do we intend, both of us, we are into this marriage, we have our parents, so we need to see how we can bring our parents in on how to be able to also reach out to them. So they need to discuss it. And then another value that we also will look at is fidelity. You know, the person come in and tell the person, this is what, I'm going to just be faithful to you. There should be fidelity in our marriage. Infidelity in our marriage. You know, for I've taken a vow to commit my life to you, and then you are taking a vow to commit your life to me. And then it must be maintained. Because anytime you break that, that is what brings about the mockery that that lead to divorce or separation in marriage. So all these values need to be looked into and discussed. And when both of you look into it and discuss it, and asking God for grace, you know, because there's nothing we can actually do on our own without the grace of God. God giving us the grace to stay, you know, to stay faithful and stay committed and dedicated, devoted to one another in our marriage. You know, especially when you see your partner as the first in your marriage. It will make you, no matter what you are seeing outside, there are so many other men that are more handsome than your husband. There are so many other men that is more worthy than your husband. There are so many women, when they come outside, wow, sweet 16, beautiful. But because you have made a choice and make a vow to stay with that, then the issue of infidelity will not even come to your marriage.
But that's what we said, forsaking all other. You know, when we talk about loyalty, we talk about the other one we talk about devoted. All of them is value. Then when you talk about infidelity, it simply means you are loyal. You don't allow your erection to give you direction. You allow your heart to direct you. Anybody can have erection. But you see, put your heart in one. You know the Bible says, guide your heart. Guide your heart with all diligence. You need to guide your heart. So many things is after you. Want to take your heart away. You are there. You think that your partner is too fat. Take her for exercise. You think that your husband tummy now is becoming like apple. Take him for exercise. Both of you talk about it. You have to. Those values, you know, we're not talking about children here now, but there are values that parents set for children. But what we are talking about is value to build a solid foundation for your marriage. Now, this value, you have to tell your partner, no matter how you have your urge and your sexual satisfaction, your sexual need must be met within that family, within the marriage institution. You don't go so. Infidelity can bring your marriage to mockery. Another value.
Okay, and then another value that you have to look at, you have to build your friendship. You know, when there's friendship between husband and wife, you discover that they will be very close. The bond between both of them will actually be very strong, because there are some people that are married today. They are not, both husband and wife, they are not friends.
I know a lot of people
They're just living apart, and at the end, the woman begin to feel so empty, the man begin to feel so empty, because that friendship in them, when they were in courtship, is no longer there. So it's one of the values that we must look at. Friendship in our marriage is something you must place important for that. Not that now that you are married, she's married, she will have to, okay, let me, no. That friend, with that friendship that you started in your courtship, continue like that. Then you see the both people begin to, begin to resemble themselves, the way they do things, they talk alike, you know. You ask about this person know this one well-being, everything. That means two of them, they work together as if they are biology, they are giving birth to the same parent. Because why? It's because of that friendship in there. So they are so into each other, they don't keep anything, they open up, the way they do things, it makes them now begin to, you know, be successful together, doing things together. That friendship must be there. It's a value that we must place importance on. But many people get married, and after that, they throw away that friendship in their marriage. And at the end, it leads to that mockery we're talking about.
The truth that the reason why a lot of people throw away, they don't build their friendship. They only come and think that, oh, marriage is very expensive. Marriage without friendship will definitely have issue. Don't drop your friendship. Take your friendship along. In fact, let your friendship lead your marriage. Because when you talk about marriage, it's like living in bondage. It's like, okay, I've married you now. I don't pay dowry for your head. Now you are paid dowry. It's like you have an acquired property. No. There must be, that friendship must continue. You must be into each other. And you must understand each other. You must build that friendship. You know the way you relate to your friend. Even when it comes to giving of money, something's happening. What do you have? This is what I have. Okay, take. And oh, I don't have. Oh, this is all I have. And you take each other like that, and you move on. It's not as serious as you place it. But when you just look at marrying yourself and drop friendship, you begin to live in fear. Oh, you make the list. It must be 80,000. Now, if you have a friend and it tells you, oh, out of this 80,000, it's only 30 I have. You will manage it and say, okay, don't worry. I will go and manage it. Maybe from 90 tomorrow, something will happen. So let's not throw away our friendship in marriage. Let's go on. Let the friendship lead our marriage. Let friendship lead your marriage. Now, let friendship lead your marriage. Because once you have friends, both of you can always, you know, go after any obstacle and overcome it. Now, these are the values we have spoken about. You need to discuss. And even when you are married, don't drop it. And I want to also say this as we move. Marriage is work. Work on your marriage. Don't be like a farmer that have a very large farm, haven't planted, you don't weed. Many things come into marriage that you didn't plant. But they are there. Sometimes your partner will begin to have some health challenge. You didn't plant it. But what you need to do is to join to uproot it. There are some things that begin to happen in life of a partner. You did not plan for them, but they have happened. And because it has happened, you need to work to see how you can work with your partner and overcome those challenges. In so doing, you will have a successful and you are building a solid foundation with the value that both of you have for each other, and you have, you know, blend your value together, and you see your marriage working. I want to let you know, you can succeed in your marriage, and you can actually make it to your marriage. You can build on this solid foundation that will give you peace of mind so that your marriage will be delivered from mockery. Don't go away. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll be continuing on this, building a solid foundation in your marriage. Thank you, and God bless you. Don't go away. We'll be back.
I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. Listen, them say them tell you, say you can never be the one. But God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose. In 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song. In 2 days, I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. Listen, them say, them tell you, say you can never be the one. But God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose. In 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song. In 2 days, I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. Listen, them say, them tell you, say
let's rock and roll. King Kong, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of run. Ding dong, call me on my phone, I'll tea in a game of ping pong. Hey, this is getting heavy, can you hear the bass boom? I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this beat cha-ching like money.
Disco overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go. I'm diamond, you know I glow. Hey, so let's go.
'Cause I'm in the storm.
I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. Listen, them say, them tell you, say you.
Hello, you are welcome to Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation Family Life. I want you to know that God has a plan concerning your life, and the plan of God cannot be aborted in your life. God will fulfill his plan in your life and marriage in Jesus' name.
Amen.
We're talking about building a solid foundation in your marriage, and we'll be looking at values, and now we want to I think my helper have some other things to talk about.
Okay, so we want to look at another second thing we need to do to build a solid foundation. We'll talk about values, but we want to look at showing love. Showing love is one of the things that you use to be able to build a solid foundation. And then we'll put down things here. We all receive love differently. Some people feel more loved when you give them a compliment or constantly reassure them of your love. Others see love as action, gift, time, touch. Find out what thing you can do for each other to show you love one another. Showing love. You know, this is one of the words that you hear, oh, I love you, I love you. Sometimes love is not just enough for you to say it, I love you. Sometimes you have to show this love, that you love the person. And one way for you to be able to show this love is, some people, they want when you compliment whatsoever that they do. Like for a woman, and then the woman take time, cook, yes, you provide the money, or depend on the source of the money for cooking. But the woman, after cooking a very delicious meal, sometimes some people feel love when there's a compliment. Wow, this is so delicious, looking so tasty. That might just be the way that she feel love. Or there are some men, and as the man is, you know, trying, pay this bill, pay that, do this, and then the woman come and say, wow, you are the best husband I've ever seen. You are actually trying, you did this, you did that. So that man might just be, you know, the person feels so loved. So you have to be able to know which one do my partner want, because we all love differently and we all show love differently. Which one will your partner want? Is it the one for action? Is it gift? Is it time? Is it touching? You must be able to know, so that when you know, it will make you to continue to remain relevant even in your marriage as a husband and wife. But you discover that there are some people, you don't give compliments, you don't say anything about it, you are just going like that because you just believe that we have gotten married and that is all. No. You must be able to look at what are the things that make my wife feel love? What are the things that make my husband feel love? You know, there was one book that I read, I think my husband read it and also introduced me to it. And after reading that book, I tell you, our love life changes. There was a change in our love life, the way we do things, everything, there was a turnaround. Because the book talked about how you can satisfy your husband, how that make him to beg for more, and how you can satisfy her. And everything was there about love, what are the things you need to do, you know, that can keep your marriage. You need to go after it, because those are the things you will do to protect your marriage, to build a very solid foundation that will lead to a lifetime. But most times, some people just believe that, must I even, she knows that I love her. She knows that this, no. Some people, they want you to spend time with them, either as a man, as a woman. Some, they just want gifts, you know, for you to just buy gifts. Either when you're celebrating one to the other, that might just be the way that she feel love. And there are some men, maybe respecting the man, obeying the man's instruction, might just be the way that they feel love. But you must be able to discover which one do your partner, you know, fall into, for you to be able to maintain it. You know, sometimes when people come for interview, there's a question I normally ask: what are the things that you like? What are the things you don't like? So that it will make, you know, the both of you to be able to flow together. And when they saw those things, and when the person is qualified, you want to protect that thing. That this is the aspect that this person does not actually like, and see how you can work together even in that working environment. Then we'll talk of when you marry. When you know what is your wife's love language, I tell you, both of you will be able to flow together effectively and build a very wonderful marriage.
Okay, we're talking about showing love. We're looking at building a solid foundation. And one of the things that you should discuss, even as you are entering this marriage, or even when you are married, is discuss with your partner what make you feel love. What are the things your partner will do? Just like you were talking about doing interview for a new staff, you want to know his like and a dislike. Now, talk less of somebody coming to marry. It's very important for your partner, your partner to be able to know how to show love and how to receive love. Because if you don't know how to show and receive love, it's going to be a problem for both of you. So it is very important, husband and wife should discuss, how does my partner receive love? How does my partner show love? It is very important, because if you don't discuss it, you are going to have issue in your marriage. If you don't discuss it, you are going to have issue in your marriage. So it is very, very important. One of the way you discuss about it, they say some people feel more love when they are giving compliment. Now, if your wife is that type of person, your husband is that type of person, that know it feel better when you give compliment, why are you withholding it? Why not give it? Constantly give to your partner what you know he needs or she needs. If compliment is what make your partner feel love, give it away. If compliment is what make your husband feel love, give it constantly. It's like this. If you have a flower, you love a flower, you want the flower to grow, what do? You water it. So if that is what make your partner feel love, come on now, go ahead. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we will be talking more on showing love and receiving love. Thank you very much.
Can never be the one, but God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose in 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song in 2 days. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. Listen, them say, them tell you, say you can never be the one. But God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose in 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song in 2 days. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you.
Hello, you welcome to Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation, Me and You Family Life. I want you to know that we love you and we expect God to do the best for you. And that is why this foundation we are talking about, building a solid foundation for a greater future. We're looking at how to show and receive love. You know, people are different. As our faces are different, so we are different. So as husband and wife, we are very different as we work together. But we must know why does our partner receive love? Now, because we know how our partner receives love, we also know how to give love to our partner. Before we went on a break, I was saying, if you know that the flower needs water, you refuse to water the flower, what happens to the flower? It starts dying. If you know your partner needs in whatever you know your partner needs, and you refuse to give it, you that refuse, you are a killer. You are the one that is killing that marriage. So once you know, this is what my partner needs, as you give it, you are nourishing it, you are building it up, you are making it solid, and you are making it better. Today, as we're discussing this today, why not make up your mind to work with your partner? I don't know about you. I have a very good understanding that this life is just once. I'm not going to live it twice. So every day, I plan to give my best. And if you give your best, you will have the best. And life is sowing and reaping. Now, because you sow your best, I assure you, let the hell join together, you will get the best. Today, why not make up your mind? Give your partner what your partner wants. Then you will see the best of your partner. Because when you sow good seed, in turn you will have good harvest. When you sow bad seed, in turn you have bad harvest. So for us to have the best, give your best. Because if your partner, our love language is compliment, why are you withholding it? If your partner, his love language is touch, why are you withholding it? That is why the Bible says, defraud ye not one another. It said, except it be with consent. Let the reason why you are not able to do the things your partner wants because you are sick and because you have taken permission, I will not be available for so and so time. Either because you want to pray or because you are traveling. Now, but if after all those things you still withhold it, it's not because you are wicked. And I know you are not wicked, because in today's marriage, why you have so many ups and downs in marriages, it's because of neglect that lead to regret. Don't neglect your partner. Don't neglect the things you need to do. If your wife or your husband love language is gift, even chin-chin on your way from work, it's okay to put a smile on your husband's face or your wife's face. Give your partner what that partner needs. You will see the best of your marriage. Don't stop working on your marriage every day. Make up your mind the things you need to do to enhance your marriage. Some people, once they get married, they ignore their partner. They put their partner silent. Oh, don't mind that woman. We may have fish head. Your wife have fish head. you must be a big shark. You don't need to use such language. You don't mind that man. That's how men are. How many men have you been married to? Why not decide to build your marriage today with the quality of your expectation? You know, if you want a good house, you have to use good material to build it. Because at the end of the day, you are the one inside. All right.
You know, that is why the Bible makes us to understand. It says, for God so loved the world, John 3:16, that he gave. He gave his only begotten
Gave
son.
his best.
That whosoever believe he would not perish, but however, he gave, he needed to give. And because he gave, look at so many people that have been delivered, so many people that have been delivered as a result of his giving. Anytime you give to your partner what you deserve, whether in terms of love and all those ones, you are not lost in anything. You are gaining more fame. So many things, you gain more success. So that thing that you know that your partner needs, give to that partner. It will actually reduce a whole lot of issues in marriage today. Because when you look at marriage crisis or what is happening, it's as a result of somebody trying to withhold. You know that this is what this person needs. You are not giving to that person. If your wife is the type that, oh, just a little amount of money you give to her, why not? And you know you have it, why keeping it? If it's aspect of maybe the touch we'll talk about sex, why are you withholding it? Why are you not ready to give it her? Anytime you give it her, you are refreshed. You are renewed. You know, you are happy. There's no way sickness will not come and take because why? You give it her. But anytime you withhold what you are supposed to give her, it can attract a whole lot of things to your body, even to your marriage. It begins to bring malice, bitterness, hatred, anger in the marriage because why? Somebody is being starved. And
I know the funny thing about when you withhold, you get tired because it's like taking a child ball and hold it up. You say you will not give it to the child. Very soon, your hand will be paining you. And that ball will come on ground. Yeah, so don't withhold.
So don't withhold whatsoever you can give. Just look at this love language that you know your wife. That is why you must take time to study your husband. Many people marry and after marriage, they just leave it there and say the person should know. The marriage should just continue. No, you must take time to study your husband, study your wife. Sometimes just do some kind thing and see his reaction. You know that, oh, my husband does not like this. My wife is not comfortable with this. Then I should change. Because why? You want to build a good marriage. You know, the way people are looking at this marriage, oh, marriage is hard. That is making so many young men, so many young women running from marriage. It's not true. If you can just have understanding, if you can just have understanding of what marriage is all about and be ready to make sacrifice, be ready to work with one another, be ready to be loyal, be ready to be committed to the marriage, I tell you, you will succeed in your marriage. Yes, I'm not saying that when you get married, there will be no challenges, there will be no issues. But you see, with the love that you have for one another, you will easily just settle your differences amicably. Because the truth of it is that the Bible says in Amos 3, it said, can two work together except they be in agreement? So two of you must be able to work together. And you, in working together, there is disagreement. You disagree to agree in marriage and then be able to move on. If your wife love languages, she like to be taken out, then you are a busy person. Why not create time? I remember in those days when our children were growing up, our daddy was a very busy time, you know, going for administration, doing this. But you see, he dedicated some Saturdays and said, this Saturday, we're just going to go out. And that is how we begin to know our children, begin to have time for them, we begin to talk, and then open on and all that. Have time to be able to take your wife out. Just two of you, go there, discuss, talk, because that might just be the only way that she feels loved. Yes, you might have all the money. Putting all the money in the save and so anything you want might not necessarily be her love language, what she wants. Because that is where so many people are missing it today. Say, but what does she even want? Is it money? Is it everything? The cars, everything is there. But those things might not even be her love language. Yes, they are beautiful. They are wonderful, but that is not her love language. Her love language might just, oh, she just wants to have time with her husband. So you are the one that will create that time for her. It may just be 1 hour, it may just be 30 minutes. But what she wants, she just wants to be with the husband. The same thing with the husband, vice versa. You as a woman, you are the busy type, you are a career woman, always traveling from one state to another. You need to create time for your partner, because it's actually the marriage that brings both of you together. So you won't say now that you are a career woman, you know you are making a lot of money, then your husband does not matter. Then we are missing it. So you have to be able to, your husband just want to have a time with you, you want to discuss, you want both of you to be able to rub minds together. You must learn to create time, if that is your husband's love language, so that both of you can be on the same page. If you don't do it, there's going to be a whole lot of crashes every day, quarrel here and there, because why? Somebody feel that is being not, is being not cared for the way that she wants it. So let's look at our home, look at what we work in, because my love language might not be yours, or my husband's love language might not be yours. But you see, when we understand what is our love language, we can be able to work together as a team. We can be able to work together as one and achieve a common goal at the end. So it's very, very important for husband and wife to study their love language and be able to do. Most times we always say this, when a man was getting angry because he didn't understand the wife love language, he said the best way is just to leave this woman alone. Let me just carry my things and leave the house for her. So after some days I can come back. But through the discernment of spirit, when he was talking, I could discern that, oh, there was something the wife needed, her love language, what was it needed, but the man did not figure it out. And after just discussing, I said, look at. I think this is the reason why she's not happy. And the next day there was a testimony. I said, wow, you didn't even know, but he just bought a little thing for the wife. The wife was actually celebrating her birthday. Normally they have been doing it like that. But this time, the woman, she just put on some kind of attitude that the man didn't know, because day one has passed, day two has passed, and then nothing. And by the time he just bought that thing, he came back and said, wow, you can't imagine what I bought for my wife was not up to 1,000. But you could see the whole atmosphere change. Even the type of food I ate changed. Everything, the whole atmosphere just changed. I said, yeah, that is our love language. Just telling happy birthday. It's good, you say happy birthday. But our love language, she just wanted to feel something that my husband. So you might be out there, study your partner love language, and you will have the best of your marriage. Okay,
what we're talking about today is know your wife language, know your husband love language. Like I said, it's one life. No, we'll be back by next week. We are going to be talking about so many other things. We are still going to be looking at budgeting and all of those stuff, why money issue and all of those stuff. But I have some information for you. One of the information that we also run a church, New World Ministry, also known as New World Assembly. Our place for worship is Veterinary Road by Mopo bus stop, by the side of the UBA. And as you enter into that area, you can ask. You will see a big board on that place. We want you to worship with us. If you are in the area in Abuja, want to worship with us. The other thing we do again is that we run a radio program, daily radio program on Bright 98.7. Bright 98.7 is a radio station in Abuja. Now you can also check it on Bright FM. You can Google Facebook. It. You can get it. You can always tune to it anywhere you are in the world. You can listen to our program unbroken, 7 to 8, 1 hour on air. We also with Wazobia radio station every Saturday, 12 to 2. Now on this, you can also check out our YouTube page is there. You can also link with us. Now, we also run a marriage academy. Marriage academy is a place, things you need to know before you say, I do. Now, all of these things is all through us building our marriage and a package that will make us have a successful home and build a better future. We also have a school called Irene's Academy. Irene's Academy. We have creche to secondary school. Now, we also trust God that we are able to pass in this knowledge and into the life of the generation next. So we are not just building the present, we are also building the future. Now, all of this program is a package that we have for you, and we trust God that God is able to make things work for your good. And we also, by the grace of God, we organize programs, seminar. Towards the month ending, we're coming out with a date in this month of April. We're going to have a program at Irene Center, the same place at the Veterinary Road, just by Mipo bus stop, by the side of the UBA Bank in Abuja. Yeah. Now, we also organize seminars and programs. Like on the 14th to 18th of this month, we are going to be in Lagos, in Sovereign World Church camp meeting, 14th to 18th of this month. And we are going to be taking a whole lot of topics. If you are in Lagos area, we want you to join us during this camp meeting. It promises to be a great time together and to refresh ourselves with the Word of God, because it's only the Word of God that is able to give us inheritance among those that are sanctified. Now, all of this program, and we have books. We have written over 18 books, and we have other new ones coming out, a lot of them. So you can book, you can apply or get to us through our telephone number and get to us and say, okay, we want book. We have books, Planning Your Way Out of Poverty, God Hate Before Us, Fighting Poverty, I Walk. A lot of books, God's Plan for Marriage, Single and Not Defy, Patient. A lot of books that we have. All of this material, we are all written so that we can know, read, and have a prosperous life and have a better married life. I believe in marriage, and one of my core values in life is to make marriage work. And by the grace of God, a lot of families have benefited. Now, the last and not the least, we also partner with organizations that we, on in vitro fertilization, we partner with organizations, and we also we assist and support people that have been married for over 2 years and above, and we have seen God help a lot of couples. All of these things are a full package that we do in Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation. I don't know whether my help, I have one or two things to say before we call it a day today.
The truth is that, you know, this marriage life we're talking about is actually in our hands to make it work out. So all these things that we're talking about is to see how our marriage can succeed, and in turn to affect our community. Because if the marriage institution is not made right, it can also affect our community and can affect our society at large. So let's make it work out so that our community and our society can get better.
Okay, until see you again our next edition. This is Simon Asemota, Reverend Simon Asemota, also known as family man and his helper, and my girlfriend Grace Asemota. You know, I love you. But you know, many times, sometimes I will just be looking at you and say, what else can I do to you that will make me show that I really love you? What do you really want?
Just remain who you are. I'm
I
okay with that.
Who I am. You don't need a private jet.
No.
You are not asking for anything.
Just remain the way you are, and then let's work together as a team.
I thought you asked me to buy a private jet, and I think our
it's got permits, so when the money comes, we can get it.
So the money has not come? The money has
when the
come.
Time comes.
The time? Okay, it's only time you're waiting for, because the money is available.
There's time for everything.
Okay, until we see you in our next edition, I say God bless you, go ahead and succeed, and this new month, new thing will happen to you.
Amen.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Okay, bye-bye.
In 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song. And today, I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. Listen, them say, them tell you, say you can never be the one, but God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose. In 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song. In 2 days, I have a message for you. God has sent me to you. I have a message for you. Them say, them tell you, say you can never be the one, but God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose. In 1 month,